Hello everyone, welcome back to third episode. So in this episode you should be excited because you're going to write your first smart contract in this episode. So you might be wondering about this fancy name smart contract to see how difficult it is. In reality, it is not very difficult as far as you understand what the concepts are. So let's dig into that, see how it works, and let's create our first smart contract. So we're going to have an example of a piggy bank. What our smart contract is going to do is our smart contract is going to start off with a piggy bank, and as soon as the smart contract is called, it increase or increment one coin in the piggy bank. For example, if I have one coin at this point, as soon as the function runs, it will have one more. So it makes it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. So it's a small purpose. Building it teaches three parts. It makes up every smart contract. So the contract, the state variable, the functions. The container that holds the program is the contract. State variable data it remembers even between uses, and functions the actions it can do when someone calls them. Okay, this is an example. So you can see the contract is the piggy bank, state variable is the coin, and function is the increment of the coin, what it is actually doing. Okay, it is kind of similar to what JavaScript looks like. So this is explaining how the code works. So Pragma Solidity is the version of the Solidity that we are using. At the top, it's the licensing, which is important to put in. Then we have the contract class or the container. Then we have the variable, which contains the number. Then we have the function, the public function, and then we have the logic within the function. Okay, and then we have to compile the program. Compiling is basically going to see if our contract is perfectly fine in terms of syntax. If yes, it's going to compile it successfully. So in this video, we're going to now ahead make the program and compile it. So let's do that. Okay, so I'm on the VS Code now, and the first thing that I'm going to do is to create a new folder called contracts. Okay, and here I'm going to make my first contract with name piggybank.sol. Okay, so you can see this icon. This is basically the icon of the contract, which is called .sol file, also called Solidity file. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to write our first line about the licensing. This is the licensing line which you have to include. Now the version of the Solidity that actually matches the version of the Hardhat, which is this one. So I would need to do a cap icon, and this should match the Hardhat config version. All right, and then first contract. Let's do contract piggy bank. Okay, then we're going to write the variable coins. Okay, then we can do the function add coin. Going to name it public, and what it's going to do is it's going to update the current value of coins by 1. Okay, let's save it. I'm going to do few comments here. to make our program presentable, and then let's try to compile the program. So this is our first very simple smart contract, and yeah, we've already saved it. So what we're going to do next is we need to try and compile it. So let's check the node version 24, perfectly fine. npx hardhat compile. Okay, so it's giving an error, identifier not found or not unique. So let's see what error it could be. Oh, sorry, that's my mistake. It's uint. Then the typo. Compiled one Solidity file with solc 0.8. And here you go. The compilation is successful, which means that our first contract is now compiled. And if I go to artifacts, this is basically where the compilation usually happens, right? So we are going to come back to this later on. We're not going to go in depth into these things, but yeah, let's say if I remove this again, and if I run it, it is going to bring back the artifacts along with the new build. This is our build that we have compiled from the Hardhat. This is our contract file, and this is our Hardhat configuration. So you can see that how we compiled our first contract uh, using Hardhat, and how it created an artifacts folder to create the build. So we'll stop this video here because this is how our first contract is created. In the next video, we're going to see how to test or deploy this contract on the server or local. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to comment or subscribe my channel to continue the series and get up to date on my videos. Thank you.